Today, what is meant by triggers and what is the use of triggers? Yeah. Okay. What is a trigger? See, suppose the user entered the record. The user entered the record. Automatically, if the value doesn't satisfy to any of this application, then one message or any action should be happened automatically without the user intention. So this is called as a trigger. For example, I will show you. Now, if the field has like annual revenue, okay, less than or equal to 50,000, less than or equal to 50,000. When the user enters the less than or equal to 50,000, the annual revenue should not be less than 50,000. The annual revenue should not be less than 50,000. This has to be the array trigger. Okay. Now, the example looks like I will show you from the details. See, when we go to the any object or account object, when you enter new, I'm entering here from the new button. See here, I'm writing the name as Storm here, top, and the annual revenue is like 40,000. 40,000 amount made. Click on save. Click on so see automatically saved. But when they saved less than 50,000, then automatically they should get error. The record is not saved, or the record will not be saved until they entered greater than 50,000. Okay, so this is the scenario. Like we are going to write that trigger with the code. We have the alternate source also in Salesforce to write the flows. But at present, we are not going with the flows. I'm going with the triggers. Okay, the simple concept. Here, what is the syntax of trigger? What is the syntax of trigger? We will see first from the scratch. From the scratch. What is the syntax? Means it is a formula to execute the code in Salesforce, like any other technology also. I'm writing here as a trigger, as a keyword, and in this part, I'm writing as a trigger name. Trigger. See, the trigger name, you can write anything. You can write anything. On which object you're going to put? On which object? The object name here, and here in this part, events, we call it as events. Open braces and the close braces. Open braces and the close braces. Middle part, I'm writing as code block. Code block. You can write any type of calculation here in this part. This is the basic part of the triggers to write the example. Now keep this in mind. Always when they say to write a trigger, we have to get in our mind that trigger name, on, object name, events, brackets, the closing brackets, code block. That's all. And you can implement anything, any type of code in this part. Now, what is the event here? What is the event? What are the events we have in triggers? Like I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you like a before event and after event. Before and after. What is before again? Before insert we have, and before update we have, and before delete we have. All the DML operations. Before delete we have. And again, after insert, after update, and after delete, and after undelete. But there is no before and delete. These are the only 7 types of events we have in triggers. Like what is that? Before insert, before update, before delete, after insert, after update, after delete, after update. Now again, what is before insert means? Before insert. When you save the records, when the user saves the records on the account or on any type of object in Salesforce, the calculation or the action part should happen before the record is saved in the database. This is before insert, the basic point of before insert. Okay, I will show you the update also afterwards. So first we will see before insert, then again we have, this is called as events. We can make it as events, and we have context variables. Context variables. What are the context variables we have? Like I'm going to write trigger.new, trigger.new, and trigger.old, trigger.new map, trigger.old map, trigger.ease insert, trigger.ease update, trigger.ease delete, trigger.ease before, trigger.ease after, size. These are the main things of context variables. When someone says you to write the triggers, so these are the things we need to keep our mind, like what are the context variables, what are the events, or what is the syntax of the trigger. This is the things we need to keep in our mind. This has to get in your mind automatically. Okay. Now our scenario is when we enter the record in the object called account object, automatically 50,000 less than when someone enters the record in the object or an application or in the UI, automatically they have to get one error that the record should not be 50,000 less than. This has to be, unless until they enter like a 51,000 or 52,000, automatically the record has to be saved in the object. Okay, this is the scenario. Now I'm going to write a trigger, a simple trigger for the beginners to understand how the triggers can maintain. Like see here, I'm writing a trigger here, trigger, and the trigger name. Trigger name I'm writing like annual revenue account object. Okay. On which object? I'm writing on account object. On account object. Okay. And events. What are the events we need? Basically, you can write any event. First, I'm writing as a before insert. Insert event. To understand, two braces here. And in these two braces, always we should remember that the two braces are important. Two braces here. Now, first write it as a for loop. Loop is important. For loop. In this for loop, write on which object we are writing? Account object. On account object means here we should say that alternate name of account object or the instance name. I'm writing as a colon. We know the context variables we have. Okay, that is called as trigger.new. Because why we are writing trigger.new means we are giving it as a new record. If that is a new record means we should write the trigger.new. If that is a old record, we are comparing with the other records means we should write trigger.old. If you write and see the example, you will understand what I'm writing here. New means keep in your mind that trigger.new means it is a fresh record, new record. And here after that for loop and keep it as two braces here. In the two braces, I'm writing the condition. Condition is if condition. Condition. What is the if condition here? A dot, the object, the alternate name is A here. I'm writing A here. And here, the field name we should write. We should understand the field name. If you don't know the field name, go to the object and copy the API name. If you don't know the API names also, please keep in mind, like go to the setup. Go to the setup and click on the object manager. Click on the object manager and see the object field names. Object field names. Account object here. Click on fields and relationship. The fields and relationship, we should copy these field names, not field labels. We should copy field names. If it is a custom object, we should copy API names. The API names will be underscore underscore C, like this. Underscore underscore C it will be. Now I'm going to copy the annual revenue API name for the field name. See here, annual revenue. Can you find this? Yeah, annual revenue is here. I'm copying this. Paste it here. A dot annual revenue less than or equal to 50,000. Less than or equal to 50,000. Okay. Now give it as. If less than or equal to 50,000, and write it as two braces mark. Yeah, see A dot add error. Add error. Don't go for what is a add error again. What is the use of the, what are the methods we have the add error. Afterwards you can go. Afterwards you can search for the add errors and all. First to see how we can show the error on the application. Add error. In this part, write it as invited quotations. In the invited quotations, I'm writing as annual revenue should not be less than 50K. Should not be less than 50K. That's is the thing. This is the thing. Now I'm going to execute this program in the developer console. In the developer console, where we have to write the triggers. The triggers we have to write in two parts. Like we can write it here in the object section. In the object section, as triggers here. Here, click on the triggers, and you can write it here. Otherwise, go to the setup. Under this, beneath this, we have a developer console. Click on the developer console. Developer console, and on the left hand side we have a file here. Click on file here, new. In the new, write it as Apex triggers here. Apex triggers. In the Apex triggers, I'm writing the name of the trigger, like annual revenue on account object. On which object? Account object. So I'm taking as account object. Click on submit now. So automatically the syntax you will get automatically on the developer console without writing anything. Only the name has to be written. Okay. Now click on after braces, like for loop, right? What I have written here? Account A colon and trigger dot new, because it is a new record. Open braces and the close braces, and here I write it as if condition. In the if condition, I write it as account A dot annual revenue. If you don't know the name, please copy the name and paste it there. Otherwise, you may get error with the field names. Okay. So copy, paste it. Annual revenue less than or equal to 50,000. Those places, and write here A dot add error. Add error. And the add error, give it as inverted quotations. Write it as annual revenue and 50. If you get any errors, please don't scare of the errors, because when we get errors only, we need to understand what we're writing. Quotations. Save. Okay. Saved. Now go to the program and see. Now go to the program and check whether the code is running or not. Now go to any app. If you have any app, click on the app and click on account object and check whether your code is running or not. Click on new now. Click on new. Account name I'm I'm writing here as Tom Cruise, and I'm giving the annual revenue. Annual revenue, yeah. Where is the annual revenue? Annual revenue is here. I'm giving it as 40,000. 40,000. I'm going to save this one. 40,000. See here, what is the error we got? Annual revenue should not be less than 50K. Should not be less than 50K. Annual revenue should not be less than 50K. If you want this error, on the at the field itself, now again go to the program and write it here as a dot annual revenue. Copy this field name and paste it here. And check now. Now go and check. 40,000 I have written here, and I'm going to refresh. Save. See here, when you see here, annual revenue should not be less than 50K. Now I'm writing like 51,000. 51,000 and save. See, automatically saved. Now again I'm going to the account record. Now I'm checking the scenario, the alternate scenarios. See here, account object for Tom Cruise. I'm going to edit this. Click on edit now. If I'm changing the record from here, if I'm changing the record like 45,000 I'm writing, I'm going to save this. See, save no. Now what we have written, the trigger is not working on the edit option, right? So we have written only on the new record. While we are creating the new record and saving the new record in the object, we are getting there. But when we edit the record, we are not getting there. So to control that also, as we have events, as I told you, the events like before insert, before update, before delete, and after insert, after update, after delete, and after undelete. So these are the main events we need to understand. Keep it comma and write it as before update. Save it now. Save. Now again go to the record. And edit that. Tom Cruise. Edit that. If I change while editing also now. I'm writing again 45,000 and saving the record. See here, annual revenue should not be less than 50K. While we are creating the record, we are getting there. While we are editing the record, we are getting there. That means the user is validated here, like they should not enter the record 50,000 less than. The record, the information should be 50,000, more than 50,000. So again, I'm going to change this. I'm writing like 51,000. I'm saving this. See, yeah, done, right? See, see the scenario. If you want to check the scenario, you can check the scenario. Again, I'm telling you. So keep in mind, like the trigger syntax and the events we have, and the context variables what we have. And the scenario is the annual revenue should not be less than 50,000. That is the scenario. It should throw some error to the user, like annual revenue should not be less than 50K. Okay, this is a scenario. I hope you have done. If you want to deactivate the trigger, see, if the user doesn't want the trigger to be used, then click on the account, go to the setup and click on the object manager. In the object manager, click on the account object, and go on the left hand side. We have a panel here, and go to the trigger and search for which we have written. What is the trigger name? See, this one is the trigger name, and click on edit here. Edit. Deactivate the trigger. Deactivate the trigger. Save now. Save now. Now go to the record. Go to the record and check whether after deactivating we can save the record or not without validating anything. Like I'm writing again here. I'm writing 23,000. Saving. Okay. Record is saved. Right. So we should understand what is a trigger, how to write a trigger, what are the concepts of trigger, and the simple scenario to get executed, and how to activate that, how to deactivate that, how to write in a developer console, and how to write in the object. So each and everything should be understand very easily. These are the basic trigger. I told you. So learn easily and grab the information and start writing more and more triggers. Okay. Right. Right, guys. Thank you.